Hi everyone. Welcome to Organized Intention, where I teach personal finance, organization, and productivity in order to help you live with organized intention. Today I want to discuss sinking funds. What are sinking funds? Many of you know the answer to this already, but for those that don't, sinking funds are monies that are set aside to pay for future expected outlays. So, in essence, sinking funds save money now for expenses in the future. I'll be the first to admit I can overcomplicate the financial process. I am an accountant. To me, money management is fun. However, for 2020, starting in January, I decided to scale back and simplify my sinking funds. So, how do you determine what your sinking funds should be? Some people have a sinking fund for everything. Don't get me wrong, I used to do this as well. However, I learned it was overly complicated, and that meant I wasn't using the funds the way I had allocated to use them. So I decided to make a sinking fund for things that cost or potentially cost over $100 per year. The idea here is that if it costs less than that, I'll be able to come up with the money out of our regular checking account, or I'll use my $1,000 emergency fund. So, what are my sinking funds? My sinking funds are outlined at the top here. You can see, please note, I normally use Google Docs for this sheet so that I can access it anywhere. And so you can see that I have this sinking funds sheet at the beginning of the workbook that houses my budget. So that way I have it all together and I can work on those at the same time. It is just a tab at the bottom along with all the other months. So I contribute $380 every month to my savings account total for sinking funds. Theoretically, I'll have $1,100 by the time Christmas comes for Christmas gifts. It's not $1,200 because I transfer sinking funds at the end of the month and not the beginning of the month. The Terminex money here, that is paid quarterly, so I have $75 for my quarterly service when the next service is performed. Hair and beauty, that's $35 a month. That covers haircuts, makeup, miscellaneous products for my entire family, so myself, my husband, and my 2 sons. Gifts and holidays, $60 a month, covers birthdays, Easter, Valentine's Day, and anniversaries for our immediate family, including my mom, who we live with. However, gifts for other people, like special family members, friends, or classmates, that comes out of the regular monthly budget. If I know about those in advance, I will plan for them. So I'll put the money in the budget. Otherwise, it comes out of the miscellaneous fund in the monthly budget. And you can see in the top box here on the right what my breakdown for the gifts and holidays fund covers. The birthday money for each child, so that amount per child is higher than it is for myself, my husband, my mom. That is because we include $100 for a family outing, usually whatever the child chooses. There is $25 for each child, my husband and my mom. The family birthday budget, which is this amount here, it includes $5 gifts for each of the children under 18 years old and the extended family on my mom's side. We get together periodically with those family members, and the children exchange gifts with each other. The Easter fund here covers basket costs. The Valentine's amount covers all of us. So myself, my husband, my mom, my children. The anniversary fund, that covers a date night for me and my husband. Cars is our next fund. That covers things like vehicle taxes, registration, oil changes, miscellaneous repairs. Amazon is our yearly Amazon Prime membership. The medical fund covers medical expenses, excluding copays that we know about ahead of time and prescription costs. Those are in the monthly budget. Back to school funds are for my boys to get clothes and shoes and book bags, whatever is needed at the beginning of each school year. The CMA fund here is my yearly IMA, the Institute of Management Accountants membership, and yearly dues because I'm a certified management accountant. Because I didn't start the savings plan until January of this year, my accounts may not be 100% funded by the time they're needed. That's okay, because I'll just put room in my regular monthly budget to pick up the slack, and then we always have that miscellaneous fund. You can see that if you check out my monthly budget videos. I will link in the description box below the explanatory budget video. So how my sinking funds work. The savings account at my bank, my regular savings account, is where all of my sinking funds are kept. I keep them all together in one account. I keep track of them via this spreadsheet that I update weekly as needed. So every week when I do my budget, I'll transfer funds from my savings to my checking account as needed to cover any purchases that I made using the sinking funds. Unless I pulled cash out of the sinking funds directly via the ATM. So, for example, I paid the Terminix bill in March. I only had $50 in the fund at the time, so I used my debit card to pay the bill online. Even though the bill was $75, I transferred the $50 that was in that fund into my checking account from my savings account. And I can do this very easily because I can do it through an app on my phone, and it's a super quick, easy process to transfer funds between the two accounts. At the end of the month, when it's time to transfer money to the sinking funds, I just transfer the money out of the checking account and into the savings account. So we'll be completing the sinking funds for week 1 and 2 of April. So we go into March, and if you'll look down here with me, you can see here is the box where I've kept track of everything for March. So the first thing that we have to do is add in the money that we transferred in at the end of the month. That is our regular monthly $380 that we put in every month. And we had an extra $104.32 that was left over from our checking account for March that we will put in for our house sale account. And I talked about that in my budget video as well, that what our house sale account is for. So it's Christmas. You'll see there, that adds up to our $380 that we put in every month. Now the extra was the $104.32 that we had left over from the month to put in our house sale account. So you can see here that I already put in the subtractions that we've done throughout the month. So this is what we've spent throughout the month. And I've already put those in. So now what we will do is copy this month and paste it in so that we can start April. All right, so I'm just going to copy these rows, and then I'm going to insert copied cells. All right, so you can see down below is our March, and this one is for April. So we will change this to April. Now, what I do is fill in the beginning amounts using the ending balances from last month's box. So you can see here, if you go down to ending, it's 300 in the Christmas fund. So you just put 300. So we have there, the beginning balance is $1223.47. Now we need to take out all of these additions because we haven't added our money for March yet. Remember, we won't do that till the end of the month. And we need to delete these transactions because those are from last month. So right now, these numbers equal these numbers. And that's exactly what we want. So we have to add any transactions for April that have occurred thus far. So for week 1 and week 2, and if you guys watch my budget video from week 2, you know that I had to pay medical bills. It completely drained that fund. So we will take $150 off because we did pay those medical bills. And then I spent $21.29, so $21.29 on a couple of clothing items for my kids that would normally be purchased during back to school shopping, but they needed it now. So I spent $21.29, and hopefully I won't have to buy it again in August for back to school, so I took it out of that fund. Lastly, I ordered some makeup, and that was $34.16, and that comes out of hair and beauty. So you can see the ending balances here are calculated for you. The sinking funds balance is $10.1802. So that's what we have in our sinking funds right now. The savings account balance total is the sinking funds balance plus $1,000, which is in our emergency fund. So when I go and look at the bank account on my app, I will see that this is the amount here that is in our savings account. So I hope you guys enjoyed seeing how I keep up with my sinking funds. Please comment, like, and subscribe here to get weekly updates. And please check out the description box below for a link to the blog post, which includes a template for the sinking fund worksheet in Excel. Hopefully, this will inspire you to create and use sinking funds and live with organized intention.